All right, so let's go ahead and practice using these forms and equations of linear functions with some problems. So we're going to find the equation of the line using the information provided. So our first one, number 9, says we have a slope of 7 and a y-intercept of 3. So I want to start by identifying what things I have. So I have my slope. And I also, because this is the y-intercept, I have the vertical intercept. And that means that the best form to use for this is going to be my slope-intercept form. Okay, so that here's my m, and here's my b. So my equation is y is equal to 7x plus 3. All right, number 10. Here I have a slope of -2, so there's my m. And I have the x-intercept. The x-intercept is not the vertical intercept. And so instead of marking this box for the vertical intercept, I'm going to mark this one for a point. So if I know that the x-intercept is 5, what that looks like on a graph is this point right here. Okay, and the coordinates for that point are going to be 5, 0. So it gives me an x1 and a y1. So since I have a slope and one point, I'm going to use point slope form. And here's my point slope form. So I have y minus 0. So that's my y1 is equal to m. So my m is a -2. And then it's x minus x1, and x1 is 5. So there we go. There's number 10, and that's all you need to do for that one. Let's see, number 11, I have a slope of 3/4 that it passes through the point 2, 5. So here's my m, there's the slope, and there's my point, x1, y1. And the best form here is going to be point slope. All right, so go ahead and pause the video, see if you can give that one a try. All right, so if you gave that a try, let's see if we wind up with the same thing here. I have y minus y1, so y minus 5 is equal to my m, which is 3/4. And then it's going to be x minus x1, which is 2, so x minus 2. All right, there we go. Number 12, so I have, looking for the equation of the line that passes through the points -2, 9, and 4, 3. So I was not given a slope, no vertical intercept, and I was given 2 points. And if we look at this list again, a good choice if you're given 2 points is usually this point slope form. So let's go ahead and try that out. So we'll put point slope. The directions on here say that what we want to do, we'll use those 2 points to find the slope, and then we'll plug the slope and the point into the formula. So our slope uses x1, y1, x2, and y2. So I'm going to label those just so I don't make a mistake here. It's easy to do. So m is x2 or y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I get 3 minus 9 over 4 minus a -2. So 3 minus 9 is -6. And that's 4 plus 2, so that's a +6. And I get a slope of -1. And then there are 2 possible ways of writing this equation, and either one is fine. You do not need to do both. You just need to give me one. So let's start with this first point. So I could have y minus 9 is equal to -1 times x minus a -2. So it would be one way we could write that using this information. The other way would be, instead of using this point, we'll use the second point. So that would be y minus 3 is equal to -1 times x minus 4. So either one of those two would be totally fine to use, and you don't need to simplify these. You can leave them just like this. All right, number 13, we have an x-intercept of 8 and a y-intercept of -7. So I do have a vertical intercept since I have my y-intercept, and I have this other intercept. So let's think about this for a minute. My y-intercept would give me a point of 0, -7. And my x-intercept, remember your x-intercept is the one that lays on the x-axis. So your y value would be 0 there. So we would have 8 comma 0. And that gives me 2 points. Right, so I have 2 points and I have a vertical intercept. If I have the vertical intercept, that is going to trump just using the 2 points on their own. So I'm actually going to use slope-intercept form. You could certainly use point-slope form here too. Either one of those would absolutely work. And we could take a look actually at what all of those would look like, but we got to find the slope first. So let me label these guys, x1, y1, x2, y2. So my slope here is -7 minus 0 over 0 minus 8. So that gives me a -7 over a -8. Those negatives cancel out, so I just get a positive 7/8. All right, so if I use slope-intercept form, what I'm going to get here is y is equal to 7/8 x. And there's my y-intercept, so minus 7. Oops, minus 7, sorry. Because it's y equals mx plus b. And then if I was going to do this in point slope form, I could use maybe this point first. So that would look like y minus a -7 is equal to 7/8 x minus 0. So that would be another way of writing it that would be totally acceptable. And then let's try doing this point. So that would be y minus 0 is equal to 7/8. And that will be x minus 8. Okay, because it'll be x minus x1, and there's my x1. So any of those three would be totally fine there. Right, and then number 14. So number 14 looks a little bit different. It says f of -2 equals 3. So this number here is the x value, and this is the y value, and then we have another set of those. So we have 2 points here. My first point would be -2, 3. My second point would be 6, -11. Right, so let's start by finding our slope, and then we'll put this into point slope form. It's going to be the fastest way to get our equation. So my m is -11 minus 3 over 6 minus a -2. So that gives me -14 over 8. There's my slope. And then I'll just start by plugging this point in. So I'll do 2 different equations here. You only have to give me one on the homework. You don't have to give me multiple different ones. I just want to show you there's several different ways of writing these, so you can pick what feels most comfortable for you. So I have y minus a -11 is equal to -14 over 8, x minus 6. And then if I use this point instead, I would get y minus 3 is equal to -14 over 8, x plus 2. All right. Okay, so hopefully that helps a little bit. I want to do one last one here. This one's a word problem, and we're still going to do the same thing, though. We're going to get our information out of there, and we'll turn it into a function. So we have $48 to spend on soda and chips. A 12-pack costs $6. So my soda is $6. And a bag of chips costs $4. Okay. So the number of 12 packs we can buy, we're going to represent that with the letter Y. So it would be $6 times however many we're buying. And then the bag of chips, however many chips we're going to buy, is represented with the letter X. They're $4 each. And so my equation here, if I put that together with this $48 that I have, I get 6y plus 4x is equal to 48. Right, so hopefully that gives you a good feeling for a bunch of different scenarios and how to use the information provided to come up with that equation in the line.